Now, who is afraid of a ghost? Because if you are, well, you probably don't want to watch this video then. But today's spooky spot, we're going to be having a look at the Ghostbusters Minimates, Ghostbusters 2, Louis, Tully, and Slimer. As you can see, both Louis, Tully, and Slimer are featured down below here. And featured on the side, Louis, Tully on one side, Slimer on the other. And on the back, all the figures from Wave 2, the individual 2-packs. So we've got the Lab Coat Egon Spangler. We've got the three Ghostbusters, respectively, Venkman, Stantz, Zedmore. We've got Louis, Tully. Then we've got, of the Ghost, we have the Zombie Taxi Driver. We have the Marshmallow Man, Slimer, Jogger Ghost, and the Energized Terror Dog. As for a read-up, it says Louis Tully, after being possessed by a terror dog alongside his friend Dana Barrett, Louis Tully's world was opened up to the paranormal like he never thought possible. Though still an accountant, Louis isn't afraid to step up and battle ghosts with the best of them. As for Slimer, it says, one of the least understood ghosts ever encountered by the Ghostbusters team, Slimer seems to have a limitless appetite for any and all forms of food, including an otherworldly green juice often sold in small boxes with straws. Interesting. Yeah. So there's packaging on Louis, Tully, and Slimer. Let's get these guys opened up, and we will get a closer look at the Minimates. So don't go anywhere, guys. All right, so let's get a closer look at these Minimates. First, we'll actually have a look at Slimer. We'll just put Louis to the side here. Slimer, as you can see, makes use of the exact same frame as a Minimate, as they all do. Although, as you can see, they've gotten rid of the lower leg area and they've merely pegged in the clear stand. At least it's clear, so you know, from a distance, it does kind of, you know, look like Slimer's floating. Now, this is an opaque Slimer. There is also a clear Slimer that is being released as well. My problem, however, though, and I don't know, this probably is more so the Slimer depicted in Ghostbusters 2. I know some people probably may argue that with me, but I'm not a big fan of Slimer from Ghostbusters 2. I didn't like his design. I like Slimer a lot more in the first one, and I guess they really, for the sequel, wanted to make him give him more character. But he was very large, and his head, you know, his face was further up on his body. I like the Ghostbusters 1 Slimer, where his head was more, you know, further down, and he was more like a ball, like, you know, just almost like he looked like a bean. Now, granted, you know, it's about the same, give or take, but I don't know. I'm not very impressed with this Slimer. I almost wish he was a little smaller, maybe about that, and his face was further down. But again, this may or may not be the Slimer depicted from Ghostbusters 2. If it is, well, I guess it probably makes sense that he looks like that. Now, even though he has no legs, you can still bend his arms, and you can bend at the elbow. You can also turn at the hand. That's it. That's really it, though. He's basically a bean with hands. But there you have Slimer. Louis Tully. It is strange, though, that the Ghostbusters Minimates, Wave 2, they've given us like some Wave or Ghostbusters 2 figures, and to me, I would almost put all the Wave 2 or all the Ghostbusters 2 figures or Minimates. I probably would have held them off till Wave 3. And maybe kept Wave 2 for specifically just the Ghostbusters from Ghostbusters 1. So, I mean, they could have probably swapped out this Louis Tully. And even though we've already gotten a Louis Tully, which I'll bring in here for a second. Even though they've already given us a Louis Tully from the first Wave box set. I don't know, I probably would have swapped this Louis Tully out and maybe given us a Janine. And then, you know, they could have then saved him for the Ghostbusters 2 Minimates. But as you can see, the Louis Tully here is sporting the Ghostbusters 2 patch, so it will be different than the regular Ghostbusters. He also is sporting a name tag that says Tully. which you may or may not even be able to see. Now he does have an accessory, a very small walkie-talkie here, guaranteed to be lost. I'll just put that on before I lose it. He does also have the exact same body as the other Ghostbusters, including the built-in proton pack. So you can't take this proton pack off. However, you can take the wand off. And the wand he can hold in his hand fairly easy. Much like all the other Ghostbusters, he also does come with a proton stream that you can peg into the wand like so. And there you have Louis Tully blasting the giant Jello mold that covered up the what was the art museum. That's pretty neat. The one thing I would have been nice that he did come with, and I don't know. Does anybody have any ideas? If you've seen Ghostbusters 2, I'm surprised they didn't give him earmuffs. Earmuffs, man. Pretty sure Louis Tully had earmuffs when he was sporting his Ghostbusters pack or his Ghostbusters attire. I mean, that would have been nice if they actually had put that on there. But at any rate, overall, it's a nice figure. I almost think, though, it's too soon that we had gotten a Louis Tully. They almost should have held off him for a later wave, and then given us a Ghostbusters 1 character. But needless to say, it's a good set. Not one of my favorite sets, but it's a nice set nonetheless. And there we had a spooky spot on the Ghostbusters Minimates. We have the Ghostbusters uniformed Louis Tully, and then we also had the Slimer. And I'll see you guys next time.